morning, everybody. I feel like half the class are cutting today, but that's okay. Happy Wednesday. Sun is shining again. Gotta love spring. Yesterday we had hail, we had some wet snow, wind, rain, a little bit of sun. The temperature went anywhere from 2 degrees to 12 degrees, and today full sun and 16. Gotta love it. Gotta love spring. We have a lot of ground to cover, so we're just going to jump in with both feet. Today, we're going to talk about optimizing your veggies, okay? Getting optimal veggies. A lot of people spend a lot of time, effort, money on getting their veggies right. And that might be everything from buying seeds, running a heating pad, getting them outside, getting the right soils, everything like that. Coming in here, buying the pre-grown ones. Whatever you do, no right or wrong answer, however you enjoy doing it. But at the end of the day, we can invest, 2, 3, 4 days by the time we're done, going from seed to planting, or coming in, buying and planting and everything. And to see somebody put in all of that effort and not maximize the results, it bugs me every time. Like, it really does. It upsets me because I'm like, we could have got there. I could have helped you. So, I think the first thing a lot of people don't realize is how important it is for your plant to have the right support. And don't wait. I'll tell you a story. A number of years ago when I was here and I was down on the floor, and I was working, helping customers. A customer came in and they had a tomato. Now they took a tomato, much like this one, okay? And they planted it and it started growing. It was doing great. It flowered, the pollinators got to it, doing amazing. Started developing little green fruits, little tomatoes everywhere. Wonderful. They started getting bigger, and it got heavy and it snapped. And they came and they were like, oh my God, what do I do? And my answer was, well, if you liked it, you should have put a ring on it, which I then realized they didn't get the joke. So then I just looked like a massive jerk. But my point was, I did then help them, by the way. But my point was, they should have started with this. And I know in your garden, that looks ridiculous when you do it. That looks bizarre. You plant this thing and you put it in there. The difference is, as your plant grows, trying to get a ring on it after it's growing, you're moving branches, you're trying to tuck things in. Then you're pushing spikes into a root ball. You're running the risk of damaging a plant before it even has to go. You put this in, put that ring in with it, it'll grow into the ring, and that's what you want. And you don't have to use a ring. I see people doing things with bamboo. We've got 2-foot bamboo, 6-foot bamboo, everything in between. If you're doing peas, beans, chicken wire, a piece of chicken wire strung across, tacked up somewhere, let them grow through that. But put the support up before you need it. And pro tip, just because that says tomato ring doesn't mean you can't put a pepper in it. I put tomato rings on my peppers for the exact same reason I put them on my tomatoes. The fruits can get really heavy and start bringing down branches. And I've gone to all that effort to not add a couple of simple things on planting day. And, it's crazy to me. And I see it year after year. Like I said, that story, that person who came in, that's not a one-off. We see that every year. And I'll tell you, once that plant has snapped at the stem, so once that tomato has broken and snapped, yeah, there are ways you might be able to help it, but on the most, it's done. It's like breaking an arm. Yeah, you can reset it. Yeah, you can hope that it's going to repair itself. But like a broken arm, it's going to take weeks, months. Same thing. We don't have that amount of time. By the time you got your fruit happening and stuff like that, weeks and months, you're into the fall. Doesn't have the time to adapt. So support, stake, give your plants what they need to grow securely. And then speaking of support and foundation, The next thing is amending your soil. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about how if I had to pick between fertilizer and soil amendments, every single time, soil amendments are going to win. When I do my planting day, I amend my soil. So up until this point, Harry and I have been weeding, cleaning, getting the beds organized, turning the soil, loosening it, doing all of that. We haven't added anything yet, but we're going to. And in our flower beds, we're going to add, I like cocoa coir. Some people like peat moss. I like cocoa coir. They do the same job. All this is going to do is it's going to loosen the soil. It's going to help aerate it. It's going to help break up clay and keep it nice and loose for those roots to start feeding in. Also, in my beds, I'm going to add a compost. And this is going to put good organic material in. It's rich. I'm going to mix it in. I'm going to turn it in with the existing soil and with my coir. And this is just going to fill the soil with rich, rich goodness. The roots are going to be able to pull it out, get it up to the plant. Now, those two are by far the most common. And I grabbed my two favorites, sea salt compost and beets peat cocoa coir. Just in case you're wondering, this is actually 4 individual slabs. It's dehydrated and compressed. Right there, there's the picture. Throw it in a wheelbarrow, a bin, a bucket, whatever. Add water, break it up, let it absorb, break it up. Voila, you've got an amazing medium. So I like to use that. Then other amendments I like to use. If I'll start here, I'll just work my way down. If I've got a heavy clay in my bed, I like to use a gypsum. Gypsum actually chemically stops clay from getting back together. There's no nutritional value, but it's going to keep my soil loose. So I'll add something like gypsum. What have we got here? Worm castings. If you guys have heard me talk, you know what I love about worm castings. Everything is on the back. You can't go wrong with this. It's like a naturally created compost. Incredibly rich. This is an Alberta company. This is a Vancouver Island company. All of this is Canadian. I love it. And this is magnificent stuff. And it is so incredibly rich. I also love, if I can't add this, or if I've added this, I don't want to disturb my roots, but I want to keep the worm castings going. Extract. All this is, they've taken this, they've smooshed it, they've taken the juice out of it. Worm poop juice. Way better than orange juice. Essentially, that's what it is, though. Let's call it what it is. But this is amazing. And the thing I love about this, you cannot burn your plants. You could plant your plant directly in this, water it only with this. You're wasting money, but you're not ever going to damage your plant. It's amazing. And I love this stuff. I love it. I love it. I add it every year. It's a volcanic mineral rock dust. It really strengthens the plants. It adds a ton of micronutrients and minerals. You can use it on flowers. You can use it on shrubs. Use it on your lawn. But it really shines when it comes to veggies. And we'll be adding this. Again, I blend all of this in together. And this stuff is just incredible. It's not going to burn. It helps with moisture retention. And then the other one that I add is a biochar. And this is just a charcoal. And it increases microbiology. It allows the roots to really get the nutrients they need. It allows beneficial microorganisms and nematodes to do their job better. The soil is a living thing. It absolutely is. And by keeping it alive and adding all of this fantastic, organic, rich material, your plant is just gonna thrive. It's like a jump start. It's like caffeine for your plant. And last, but by no means least, if I'm growing in a pot, this is all I'm gonna add, okay? I may add some of the other amendments, but I'm not gonna add compost and I'm not gonna add coir. Compost is gonna be too heavy for a pot. This stuff is amazing. Pro-mix, we love them. And if you add the other stuff I've mentioned, worm castings, canomaze, biochar, to this, you've got a supercharged pot. Essentially, this is a peat moss base, so you're not gonna need any more coir. This compost is too heavy to put in a pot, okay? So if I'm doing a pot, don't use this. I go with this. I've had great success every year. Now, that's going to transition us straight into our fertilizers. Don't move this. And the difference between an amendment and a fertilizer, and I'll just show you really quick, is you can see this has an NPK count, okay? But look how low those numbers are. And the only reason it has an NPK count is because they put it on there to show you. That is minimal at best. This one, the biochar, also has one, but the numbers are minimal.
What are the numbers?
The NPK, the nitrogen is 0.12. Excuse me. The phosphorus is 0.06, and the potassium is 0.08. Ridiculously low. So that cannot be considered a fertilizer. It's, again, it's so organic and rich, you're putting it in. It does have that count. But now your plants are thriving. You've literally given them support. You've now given them a phenomenal foundation and a head start. This is like, you know, the house and the clothes for your kid. This is like the 3 meals a day. And then this is the vitamins, the 8 hours sleep, all of the other, the fresh air and exercise. That's where fertilizers come into play. And there's tons of different types. If you're transplanting, like I did yesterday when I dropped all my tomatoes, doing amazing, by the way, you might want to use a root booster, okay? Look at the numbers on this compared to it. 5, 15, 5, okay? And that's just parts per million. But that is going to really get those roots thriving. Use this on planting day with this. Then throughout the season, use these. That's it, 3, 6, 12, easy to remember. This one here, 040, but it's bringing calcium into the equation. Blossom Android. That nasty, I just stepped on my salt bag. I almost solved myself. Live on air with sanitizer. Blossom Android, that's right. A lot of times people come to me and they've got that black, horrible spot on their tomato. Doing great, plants looking amazing, no pests, no disease. The fruit's there, it's coming out, it's green, now it's going red, and bam, black spot on it. And it's getting bigger and it's rotting out the core of the tomato. Blossom Android. What's missing? Calcium. There you go. Use that. And we've got another fertilizer here. This one, 9-16-16. Water soluble. You guys know I love my water solubles. Water and feed at the same time. So you follow those steps. And lots of water. You gotta have the right elements too. You can do all of that, and you put this guy in full shade, you're not gonna have any joy. You've got to make sure you're playing to your circumstances. You put this guy full sun, water him twice a day, give him a cage when you start, bamboo when you start, amend the soil properly when you do it, fertilize accordingly. You are gonna have incredible tomatoes, I promise. And if you have any questions, if you want more details about any of this stuff, please hit us up. You know, I'm running out of time right now, and obviously I've barely skimmed the surface on these. I just want to show you how you can get to this. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. I don't want you to ever feel intimidated. I am here to get you there. I'll finish with this. A few years ago, a couple just bought a house. They came up to me, and they were like, we want 40 tomato plants. And I was like, no, you don't. And the reason for that, they'd probably kill them. They don't know what they're doing. They've never done it before. They told me that. And I was like, get 2. I'll walk you through every step. Next year, do 4. Next year, do 8. Year after that, do 16. I'll get you to 40, but don't start there. Let's go nice and easy, baby steps, and let's have a good time. So here's all the products. We can list them. We'll talk about them more as GAKidsTV goes on. That wraps me up. Have a wonderful Wednesday. I hope everybody is awesome, enjoying the weather wherever you are. If it's wet, don't worry, the sun's coming, we'll get there. Okay, have fun, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye everyone.